John Oliver called out Disney and ABC on his show last night for bowing down to Donald Trump by canceling Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely. This is worth a watch. Take a look.
One day, the history of the time we're living through is going to be written. And when it is, I'm not sure it's those in this administration who are even going to come off the worst. Now, don't get me wrong, they're going to come off terribly. But history is also going to remember the cowards who definitely knew better, but still let things happen, whether it was for money, convenience, or just comfort. And I know this is something of a tough sell, and it can be a bit of anathema to risk-averse business leaders. But I will say this, if we've learned nothing else from this administration's second term so far, and I don't think we have, is that giving the bully your lunch money doesn't make him go away. It just makes him come back hungrier each time. They are never going to stop. They've literally said that openly. After Kimmel's suspension, Trump posted, "That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC."
He's absolutely right, and that's the point that people have to understand. With someone like Trump, somebody who is a wannabe dictator, you cannot give an inch. They will continue to take and take and take and take until there's literally nothing else for them to take from you. And to these cowardly businesses, universities, law firms, and more who have bent the knee to Donald Trump, we will remember what you did. People like myself and other Democratic voters will remember what you did. Future Democratic administrations will remember what you did. And history will not be kind to people who tried to seek favor from a wannabe dictator.
We have some big news right now. The boycott of Disney is growing to the point where Disney Plus stars are literally boycotting the premiere of their own shows in protest. According to the Daily Beast, musicians like Sarah McLachlan and Jewel pulled out of performing at the launch of a new Disney documentary. The documentary at issue is called Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery. And there was a premiere late last night. Disney owns the documentary's distributor, and it was supposed to be premiering on Hulu and Disney Plus. But the red carpet, just hours before it was supposed to happen, was completely axed. A scheduled performance was no longer going to happen because the musicians literally canceled in protest. And according to McLachlan, she told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "I know you're expecting a performance tonight, and I'm so grateful to all of you for coming, and I apologize if this is disappointing, but we have collectively decided not to perform, but instead to stand in solidarity and support of free speech." Wow. As always, spread the word. If you canceled your subscription to Disney or Hulu, subscribe to my Substack instead at the link in my bio to support independent journalism. Follow along for more.
So here we are again. Another day, another boycott, another corporate giant bending the knee at the first sign of pressure. This time it's Disney. Mickey Mouse just threw Jimmy Kimmel under the bus because apparently making jokes about politicians is now a fireable offense in America. And look, whether you love Kimmel or hate him isn't the point. The point is we're watching a media company cave to government pressure in real time. And that should terrify everyone who's ever had an opinion about anything. But here's what's fascinating. People are actually doing something about it. Mass cancellations, boycotts, real consequences. So today we're breaking down the Jimmy Kimmel firing, Disney's panic, and whether boycotts actually work in 2025. Welcome back to Mind Mirror. Let's dive in.
The Disney and Hulu boycott is actually working. This is Disneyland, and as you can see, it's looking much more empty than it normally does. People have decided to stop supporting Disney and anything Disney related since the canceling of Jimmy Kimmel. People are also canceling their subscriptions to Disney Plus and Hulu after this protest started just outside Disney Studios, and it seems to be really working. Though it seems that somebody decided to shoot at the ABC studio windows, which is obviously really unacceptable for somebody to do this and makes them no better than the people that are trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel because they're canceling him over the remarks about Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk. But in more positive news, the effects that you guys have on canceling your subscriptions to Hulu and Disney Plus not going to the parks has caused a $3.5 billion market value tank since the canceling of Jimmy Kimmel. And people want to know about other networks and studios that Disney owns that they can boycott. And this is a list of studios and film companies that people are canceling their subscriptions to and boycotting.
The boycott of Disney is going to make Target look like chump change. Let me explain. Disney pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air in what many people are seeing as an attack on free speech. And while Disney's boycott has to do with free speech rather than pullbacks of DEI, both companies did not realize their consumer base is majority progressive. What's surprising about the entire situation is Disney went toe-to-toe with DeSantis in Florida over the Don't Say Gay bills, yet they rolled over at the first sign of trouble for Trump. The big difference between Disney and Target is value. For every dollar that Disney's stock goes down, they lose $1.8 billion in value. Disney is also one of the most highly recognizable brands worldwide, and their own actors are speaking out against them. And not just the actors, but even their leaders. The former CEO of Disney has criticized the company. Like Target, Disney completely depends on consumers to take in their product, which might be a movie, a trip to the theme park, or merchandise. The fact of the matter is, they can't afford a major boycott of their brand for very long. And to make things even worse for Disney, they can't roll the dice and pick one side because the entire political spectrum is calling them out, including some key Republican figures.
All right, everybody, we have some breaking news. Disney and Hulu websites are crashing due to the amount of people that are going to the websites to cancel their subscriptions. If you don't know, people are canceling their subscriptions because Disney and ABC shut down Jimmy Kimmel due to some comments that he made about Charlie Kirk. Both sides are very, very divided about this, about what is going on. Some people are calling it censorship, and some people are saying that Jimmy Kimmel deserved this based on what he said. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Are you going to go ahead and cancel your subscriptions?
Jimmy Kimmel was just indefinitely removed from television.
So are we boycotting ABC? Because I am.
Well, we did it. We have canceled Hulu Disney Plus bundle that we've had for a very long time. We've canceled because of the Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Disney Plus, yeah, y'all could go ahead hit the road, Jack. Don't come around here no more. Disney Plus, y'all could go ahead hang it up flat screen if that's how y'all get down. Listen, y'all need to ask Target how we get down for real, okay? Because to this day, Target still don't know if they coming or going. Listen, honey, it ain't nothing for me to drop y'all like a bad habit. Because the only reason why I had Disney Plus is so I could watch the new version of the Proud Family. And I caught up on all the episodes, okay? Disney Plus, Disney, all the bundles, one band, one sound, all y'all can go. Listen, Disney Plus as a staff, record label, and a crew. And if you want to be down with Disney Plus, then you can go too.
This woman just quoted Tupac while canceling Disney Plus. I respect that energy. But seriously, look at how fast people moved. Mass cancellations within hours. Their customer service crashed from volume. That's not performative outrage. That's actual economic pressure. And Disney executives are freaking out, according to reports. Because they know something most companies forget. Your customers aren't just buying your product. They're buying into your values. When you cave to government pressure to silence critics, you're telling half your customer base they don't matter. And in a subscription economy, that's suicide. The lesson here for Disney, you can't play both sides forever. Eventually, you have to pick principles or politics.
So is everybody canceling their Disney, Hulu, and ESPN, the bundle? I've been out of town. I don't know what's going on. Somebody tell me. Are we all standing with Jimmy Kimmel? Let me know.
We all need to collectively boycott ABC and Disney expeditiously. Cancel your Hulu, cancel your annual Christmas trip to Disney. Them kids don't need to see a Mickey Mouse Christmas that bad. Go to Universal.
Disney Plus and Hulu canceled. Throw you in the bin with Target, Paramount Plus. I'm going to miss out on Abbott Elementary. I'm going to miss out on the new Avatar stuff from Avatar Studios because they're under Nickelodeon, which is under Paramount Plus, and they bended the knee to I'm not doing it. I'm telling you.
Look, I ain't trying to be messy or anything like that, but Netflix. Y'all got y'all one. This is y'all moment to shine. Gather up that marketing team. Like, if I ain't trying to be messy or anything like that, but, you know, do as you wish with that.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you know, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Canceled culture. From the people who spent 4 years trying to cancel Nike, Starbucks, the NFL, and anyone who looked at Trump sideways. The cognitive dissonance is actually impressive. It's cancel culture when it happens to conservatives. But when it happens to liberals, that's just consequences. Here's some practical advice. If you're going to boycott something, commit. Don't do it for Twitter points. Do it because you actually believe in something. Because companies track this stuff. They know the difference between viral outrage and actual economic damage. Disney stock dropped because people put their money where their mouth is. That's how change happens. Not through hashtags, through bank statements.
This is the ultimate in cancel culture.
I'm on Hollywood Boulevard outside the theater where Jimmy Kimmel has been recording his show for more than 20 years. I've been speaking to fans and supporters of the show who say they're pretty surprised and disappointed that it's now been canceled or suspended indefinitely.
We're losing our First Amendment rights of freedom of speech.
He said something, that's his opinion, but to cancel the show, to me, that's bizarre.
It's fine if you don't like these comedians, and it's fine if you don't like these shows, but what if you say something that someone doesn't like?
So are we boycotting ABC? Because I am. They just fired Jimmy Kimmel. His show has been suspended indefinitely. Trump took to Truth Social, his little social media platform, and told ABC congratulations. And he also told them that they should also fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, I believe. But he was fired over his monologue in regards to Charlie Kirk. Monologue, he stated, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points." He also referred to Trump's grievance over Charlie Kirk's death as of a 4-year-old mourning the death of a goldfish, which I totally agree. ABC also avoids talking about Palestinians and Gaza, so it's really not surprising to me that they would fire Jimmy Kimmel over free speech on his own show because he's doing a monologue. And mind you, what he said really wasn't all that bad. I don't know about y'all, but hashtag boycott ABC, boycott Hulu, boycott Disney. Anything ABC needs to be boycotted. Anything associated with ABC needs to be boycotted.
The speed of this response is actually remarkable. Within 12 hours of Kimmel being pulled, you had coordinated boycotts across multiple platforms. But here's what's interesting. This isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel. This is about testing limits. How far can government pressure go before people push back? And the answer apparently is not very far when it comes to entertainment. For anyone wondering if boycotts work, Disney's subscription cancellation site crashed. Their customer service had 10-minute wait times. Their executives are in emergency meetings. That's not activism, that's economics. When you alienate your paying customers, they stop paying. Revolutionary concept, I know. The real question is whether Disney doubles down or reverses course. Because this is a $200 billion company getting rocked by angry subscribers with cancel buttons.
Yo, Disney done fucked up. Because it hasn't even been 12 hours since they yanked Jimmy Kimmel off of the air for supposedly saying bad things about Charlie Kirk, which he did not. But this is also blatantly unconstitutional, because Donald Trump had his head of the FCC, Brendan Carr, have Kimmel pulled off the air, which is the government punishing people for their First Amendment rights. But also, Jimmy Kimmel has a contract with Disney that says that as long as he doesn't say those famous 7 words that you're not allowed to say on national television, he can say anything he wants, including any kind of political satire. And now it's being reported that Jimmy Kimmel has filed a $1 billion lawsuit against Disney for violating that contract and his First Amendment rights. In just this short span of time, there's also a massive call for people to boycott Disney. And whether or not you think that boycott will have any real effect, there's no other way of slicing it here. This is a blatant violation of the First Amendment. But also, more importantly than the Constitution to people these days, it's contract violation. And before they took Jimmy Kimmel off the air, a whole bunch of Disney CEOs and executives came together and they admitted that Jimmy Kimmel hadn't crossed the line. But since Trump and Brendan Carr put pressure on them, they capitulated. Which means once again, this is the president and the federal government punishing people for exercising their First Amendment rights. Blatantly fucking unconstitutional. So not only is Kimmel absolutely correct in filing this lawsuit, but also this is a massive breach of contract. And this is going to come back to bite Mickey Mouse right in the ass. Ha ha!
A $1 billion lawsuit for contract violation. Now we're talking. See, this is where the rubber meets the road. Because if Kimmel's contract really does say he can make political jokes without restriction, Disney just opened themselves up to massive legal liability. And here's the business reality. Settling this lawsuit could cost more than just keeping Kimmel on the air would have. That's what happens when you make fear-based decisions instead of business-based ones. For anyone in a similar situation, document everything. Contracts matter, and if your employer violates them because of political pressure, that's their problem, not yours. Disney thought they were avoiding controversy. Instead, they created a bigger one, and now they're going to pay for it, literally.
We all need to collectively boycott ABC and Disney expeditiously. Cancel your Hulu, cancel your annual Christmas trip to Disney. Them kids don't need to see a Mickey Mouse Christmas that bad. Go to Universal. The dangerous precedent that the firing of Jimmy Kimmel sets is something that we only see in places like North Korea and other countries that are autocratic nations. And let's be very clear, Jimmy Kimmel was not fired because he said something disparaging about Charlie Kirk. He was fired, one, for questioning and criticizing the president's response to this entire tragedy, and two, placing the blame on conservatives and MAGA in the same way that they are trying to do the shooter's transgender lover. And for ABC and Disney to capitulate so quickly just tells me that we are quickly sliding into an era of state-led media. This is not a drill, y'all. This is not normal. It's a direct attack on all Americans' First Amendment rights. And the only way to effectively combat this is by withholding our dollar. If you are a person who likes to speak freely in internet spaces, in public settings, without fear of persecution, you might want to join us in this fight because it benefits your own self-interest, and that goes for everybody across the aisle. Nowhere in that monologue did he condone what happened to Charlie Kirk or advocate for violence. The issue is that he criticized our president. That is terrifying. I'm interested to hear how a lot of you guys feel about this topic, so please feel free to comment your thoughts down below. All of that in a bag of chips being said, as always, it is your girl, Day.
Hey, so I just canceled my Hulu with Disney Plus Premium Bundle subscription. So many people are doing this today that their accounts management site crashed, and I actually had to call customer service. It took me about 10 minutes to actually get through everything and get it canceled. They do ask for quality assurance why I'm canceling, people are canceling, and I told them exactly why I'm canceling. So I strongly recommend that if you would like to stand up for free speech and let these huge media conglomerates know that they are not going to continue to receive our funds if they are going to capitulate to unconstitutional demands, we actually do have to cancel stuff. So canceled, done, next. Oh, also cancel Paramount. Yeah, Skydance. Bye-bye.
This woman called customer service to cancel and told them exactly why. That's how you send a message. Because here's what companies track. Churn reasons. When thousands of people cancel for the same reason on the same day, that gets executive attention real fast. We're not going to continue to receive our funds if they capitulate to unconstitutional demands. That's not just a cancellation. That's a business ultimatum, and it's working. Disney Plus subscriber numbers are getting hammered. Their park bookings are being affected. This is spreading beyond just streaming. The lesson: companies care about money more than politics. Always. Hit them in the wallet, and suddenly they rediscover their principles.
There is a growing boycott of people leaving Hulu and Disney Plus. But how in the world are y'all doing it when Reasonable Doubt just came out? Abbott Elementary comes in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Why are these people making my life so tough when those shows were so easy?
What did I say? Now, Disney officials at the executive level from multiple departments are freaking out about this Jimmy Kimmel firing because they're scared about internal dissatisfaction, concerns with subscription cancellations, and people boycotting, spilling over into their parks and into their cruises. And I said, one of the most effective ways after boycotting things like Monday Night Football, Dancing with the Stars, 911, and The Golden Bachelor is canceling your Disney Plus subscription, while also submitting a comment to the ABC, and I showed y'all in the other video how to do that very easily. Why? Because Disney Plus and all these subscriptions, their bread and butter are people who subscribe and then forget, or subscribe and maybe watch one thing every now and then, but keep it around just in case. Cancel your Disney Plus subscription. This is not even about Jimmy Kimmel for real. This is about the fact that the US government is bullying people into thinking that we cannot criticize them. That is not true. That we are not allowed to speak up about our opinion, about facts, about things that actually happened. ABC and Disney did this preemptively without there being a ruling, without anything, by a threat. They took him off the air by a threat. Boycott Disney, boycott ABC, and unsubscribe from Disney Plus.
This is not even about Jimmy Kimmel for real. This is about the fact that the U.S. government is bullying people into thinking that we cannot criticize them. Exactly. This person gets it. This isn't about whether you like late-night comedy. This is about whether criticism of power is allowed in America. And right now, we're getting our answer in real time. When the government can pressure private companies to fire critics, that's not a free market. That's a controlled one. And for all the small government folks cheering this on, congratulations. You just handed the government massive new power to control speech through economic pressure. Hope you're still celebrating when it's your turn.
America, do we have one more boycott in us? ABC bending the knee to fascism needs a boycott. No ABC, Hulu, Disney, ESPN, any of the subsidiaries. You do not consume their content. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. This is about the target that is on the back of every American Democrat, leftist, and liberal. And it requires nothing more of us than to turn the channel off. If ABC and its subsidiaries wants to get in bed with fascism, let fascism support them and their broadcasting company. See, ABC chose fascism over having the back of the American working class, over the very people that have supported this network through the decades and made them what they are today. They chose one person over the masses. No more, guys. We have the power in our hands. And right now, I'm calling for a boycott of ABC, ESPN, Hulu, Disney Channel, all of its subsidiaries. No more.
ABC chose fascism over having the back of the American working class. Strong words. But when you look at the pattern, media companies caving to government pressure, comedians getting fired for jokes, critics being silenced, it's hard to argue with the assessment. And the response has been swift and decisive. Mass boycotts, coordinated cancellations, real economic consequences. This is what happens when people decide they've had enough. Not just complaining online, actually changing their behavior. Canceling subscriptions, choosing competitors. Disney thought they were making the safe choice. Instead, they picked a side in a culture war they were trying to avoid. Now they get to live with the consequences.
Disney Plus and Hulu canceled. Throw you in the bin with Target, Paramount Plus. I'm going to miss out on Abbott Elementary. I'm going to miss out on the new Avatar stuff from Avatar Studios because they're under Nickelodeon, which is under Paramount Plus, and they bended the knee to I'm not doing it. I'm telling you. These companies don't realize I'm from the generation that had to use our imaginations when we were kids to pass the motherfucking time. I'm an adult that was a child before the internet, so I know how to get by without these things. I got books, I love to read, I got video games, Blu-rays, DVDs. It's a wrap on these companies. It's a wrap on this. I can't even eat Ben & Jerry's anymore because Jerry left the company because the company that they're under now said that he can't speak freely like they've been doing since their inception. I'm over it. I'm done. Looks like I'm not going to be having no ice cream. I'm going to be eating out my garden, not watching a bunch of TV, reading, and saving money. Y'all about to see a whole brand new me. Look at them transforming me from the inside the fuck out because I'm principled and standing 10 toes down on business because this is some bullshit and y'all not gonna keep getting my money thinking that it's just gonna be cool because this shit ain't sweet. You feel me? I'm done.
Here's a man who just declared independence from the entertainment industrial complex. And honestly, good for him. I'm from the generation that had to use our imaginations when we were kids. That hits different. While everyone else is panicking about losing their shows, this guy's like, I remember books. I remember thinking. He's not just canceling subscriptions. He's rejecting the entire premise that he needs these companies to survive. Disney Plus, Paramount, Ben & Jerry's, gone. He'd rather eat from his own garden than fund corporations that fold under pressure. That's real power, not the fake power of having 1,000 streaming options. The actual power of saying, I don't need any of this. And notice the confidence. Y'all about to see a whole brand new me. He's treating this like an upgrade, not a sacrifice. Like cutting these companies loose is going to make his life better, not worse. That's the mindset that scares corporate executives more than any boycott hashtag ever could.